Ready? Let's go.
Digimon, Digital Masters, Digimon are champions. Digimon, Digital Masters, Digimon are champions.
Hello folks, welcome back to Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. We are back in the Digilab here, and things might look the same, but we have a couple of little bit of differences that I want to show you guys. For instance, we have a new Digimon in our party, introducing Hagurumon. We did actually end up getting a Hagurumon during some grinding sessions I had off camera. Didn't want to bore you guys with that. By the way, Armadillomon is the MVP of the grinding session because he's a free type that is a rookie or higher. He's able to give me the ability here in the player, I'll show you, in the hacking skill called Function Call Level 2. Now this forces a random battle to occur. Now this is awesome because we've already shown that walking around in a dungeon can take forever to get an encounter, even when you increase the encounter rate. So just hammering the square button the entire time to gain levels was awesome, but the fear there is that sometimes you're forgetting to heal your Digimon, but luckily I didn't have that problem. So if we just take a look at some of the other Digimon that we have here, we still have Betamon and Patamon, but we do have a Biomon now. And we also have a Kudamon, so those are two Digimon that we've recently gotten, including Lalamon, Dorumon, Gomamon, and Renamon. We have a Bukamon and Yaromon that are in here getting levels, that way we can Digivolve them into another thing as well. But Betamon has also been an MVP because as a farm leader, he was able to go ahead and have Digimon searches for cases and stuff like that much faster, which I haven't done any quests or cases yet. Wanted to go ahead and save those for things on the channel. So we'll probably get started on a couple of those, including some very quick search and find missions as well. Agumon and Gabumon are both level 22, so we're going to have to Digivolve them with their max level being reached. And Tokomon we're going to Digivolve because I realized Lusamon, after doing some research on that Digimon and Digivolution chart, that's going to be a tough one to get. So we're just going to Digivolve Tokomon now and hope that we can come back to Lusamon later through Digivolution. Goblimon is ready to Digivolve as well, so we'll go ahead and we'll try to bring him up. And we also have a Toy Agumon, and that one will be Digivolved here in the next couple of levels since he's still got 14 left to go. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and let's do some Digivolution for champions, shall we? Now, again, for this one, the toughest one to get is going to be that Greymon because of the 50% camaraderie, so we're going to go with that. So let's do this. Agumon, Digivolve to Greymon. It's good to have the old boy back there. Gabumon, again, camaraderie is the thing here, so I'm gonna turn him into Garurumon. Gabumon, Digivolve to Garurumon. And now we'll Digivolve Tokomon. And I feel like we're going to do camaraderie here as well, so we're going to go ahead and get Hawkmon. Tokomon, Digivolve to Hawkmon. I always thought it was really weird he had a belt on his forehead. Just why? And now we'll do Goblimon. Ooh. Now this is where it gets no, there's no interest here. We're gonna go ahead and Digivolve Goblimon into well, hold on a minute. Let me check something here. We're gonna check the Digivolution line, because I wanna say that, because again, Sunamon Digivolves into Gabumon. Well, we can't tell that. Okay. So that's a toughie. Because now we gotta figure out what we want to actually do with Tokomon. Do we want... or Sunamon. Do we want to turn him into... Because Wanyamon's got everything already, so we don't have to worry about that. But I feel like we're missing out on another Digimon line here. Because which one has Guillaumon? Oh well. I think just going by the rules that we've put forth on ourselves, or put forth on me, I should say, I need to go through with what I've been saying I was going to do the entire time, and that's it goes camaraderie, level, and then stats. ABI is eventually going to be an issue from what I've read, but for right now, Growlmon seems like that's the one that needs to come first. And plus, we've been lacking in some attack power because Sunflowmon is such a weak champion type in regards to physical attacks. We need to add a little bit of power, and the fact that Growlmon is a virus type, going back to that first boss fight we had against Mephisto, we need a virus type since both Greymon and Gabumon are vaccine types and Sunflowmon is a data type. So we need a virus type champion Digimon if we want to progress further in the game and be successful. So in that case, we'll go ahead and we'll go with Growlmon. So Gabumon, Digivolve to Growlmon. The only problem with that now that I'm seeing is that these two are at level 45 cap. This one's a level 37 cap. That kind of sucks. Again, it can still reach every digivolution that it needs to, but that being said, it's still not as high as I'd like it to be to transfer those stats over. But based on what I'm seeing, Greymon is obviously going to be able to turn into Metal Greymon, which that one is, no doubt about it. But the question is, which one do we do after? Because that one has the most requirements, but that one has the highest level. And 105 attack is a definite reach that we need to get to, apparently. So, doing all this stuff together, we still have about 5 levels to go with these guys. We're going to move some of these Digimon from the Digibank. Well, we have to move these out into the farm first, so... But where are we going to put them? That's the problem. Betamon's almost ready to hit the highest point here anyway. And Patamon's the leader right now, even though I was mentioning... I don't think I mentioned about this yet. Because of Betamon's searcher personality, he was able to find me a couple more of those quests. But now that I think about it, I think we actually did talk about that. But I'm going to go ahead and bring out Betamon. Put Betamon in the Digibank. Put Tentomon and Hagurumon in the Digibank. And we're going to pull out Garurumon to the party. And actually, we can't bring either of these guys in there because we've reached a cap. Sunflowmon is 6, Garurumon is 8, and Armadillomon is 4. So this is where we have to be smart about what we're going to do. So now... Yikes, this is a tough one. I want to keep Armadillomon for the sake of... having his ability to call out Digimon. And also the fact that he's a free type. He doesn't have weaknesses technically in that regard, so it's good to have him in the party. But we don't have any data type, so we need to bring in a data type. And probably the best data type to have right now would be Dorumon. And we still have enough space for maybe 2 or 3 more Digimon. So I'd say probably the best one for us right now. Let's bring in Gomamon as another vaccine type. And if do we have another virus rookie type? Yeah, we have Gogurumon. But we can't bring him in because we've reached our cap. So we'll have to just go ahead and run with this. So 2 vaccines, a data, a virus, and a free type. Which that's fine by me. We're gonna have to really, really maintain our control over the, well, if we put Gomamon back in the... No, we don't want to Digivolve him. If we put Gomamon back in the farm, we can bring out Sunflowmon, I think. Oh yeah, we can bring in Sunflowmon. So we have ourselves a champion type, and Sunflowmon is a data, so we can use that to our advantage whenever we can. But for the meantime, I think what I'll do is just run Dorumon, Betamon, and Tentomon for now, unless we get to a point where we need to use Armadillomon. And going back to this, right now I have the farm developing with Patamon as the leader, since Patamon is a builder type. And we also have the developer know-how thing that we were able to get from that DLC mission, I believe, was when we got it from. So they're building that, and since I have one space left in the Digifarm, let's go ahead and go back to... I'd say let's put Hawkmon in there, only because, again, we really need to build up our rookies and prepare them for champion Digivolutions later on, once we get more memory space. So, all that being said, now let's go ahead and we'll do a couple of the smaller quest lines first. If these are as boring as I imagine them to be, because we got... Oh yeah, these are all properties, except for the one, search for the wanted hacker. So, yeah, we'll just go to Kowloon, pick these up real quick. I may even cut this out for the sake of... just getting rid of it, because this is going to take a while. I probably should have done this off camera anyway. And I don't imagine that this is going to be something... Yeah, I know. We gotta find this precious thing in Kowloon level 1. And... oh, wow. This is going to be the first one that's not just right here at the entranceway, it looks like. That'll be... That's at least different, so it's good that I'm at least doing this. So, yep, there he is right there. It's at the precipice of the entranceway. So now we'll go ahead and we'll take on back. And again, I did a little bit of research into the games just for the Digivolution line, so I still don't know a lot about the story other than what we've seen thus far in the playthrough. But this being said, I've never experienced a thing where Digimon can actually take over humans in any capacity whatsoever. So it's interesting to have that as a dynamic in this game. I don't know how far they're willing to take that, but it is an interesting idea, and I'm looking forward to seeing what all it goes with. And another Digiline here. All this training is boring. Can't you take me out from time to time? If you get stronger training on the farm, you can do it just a little more. Don't worry, Kudamon. We'll be able to go ahead and have some fun. Yeah, I know. And we're gonna get an Ogremon. Oh, this one's at level 2. Okay. So no, this is gonna be some, like, serious dungeon farming and stuff like that. So we're gonna be doing a couple of jumps here and there. I don't imagine that we'll get anything that interesting out of it, but at the same time, we'll be able to have at least a little bit of fun looking at the new Digimon. Like, Ogremon... Okay, so you drop something. Nothing here. Okay, so yeah, you dropped it actually in the dungeon here, so let's go ahead and let's see if we can find it for this guy. This will be interesting, because I would love to see exactly how far they'd be willing to go with, like, how deep in the dungeon this guy lost his precious thing. Okay. And there's a lot of Digimon I haven't converted from the data that I picked up, so I'm probably going to want to do that at some point as well. But, again, I haven't, so that's kind of on me. It's going to be another thing you guys are going to have to watch in the playthrough, I guess. I'll try to be better about that stuff, too, because I know that this is going to be... This stuff usually is what Let's Players are supposed to do off-camera, but... Again, I'm brand new to this whole foray, so I want to be able to share as much of the game as I can with you, because I really like this game so far, and it's been a long time since I played a legitimate Digimon game. Because again, I think the last one I played was from my old DS, was Pokemon Dusk, or Digimon Dusk, I should say. And I really love that game. It was a personal favorite of mine. Digimon Story, of course, is one that It's hard. I forget if it's called Digimon Story or Digimon World, but it was a game that I was really, really heavily invested in. Every time my Digimon laid an egg and gave it to me, I was always really like, okay, this is still my Digimon, technically, that kind of a thing. This is a fight where... Alright, nice. And this is a fight where Tentamon's going to be super valuable as a vaccine type. Yep, there we go. ×2. And... But, back to the original Digimon game on the PS1. I always really liked it because of just the connection you had with the Digimon. Like I said, and it's hard to get that, honestly, sometimes with Digimon games because they tend to be a little bit more long in the tooth in regards to, like, their gameplay has never been that great at times because there's always difficulties with understanding the digivolution lines and what goes where and when and all this other stuff. It's hard at times, and I'll be the first one to admit that it is hard at times to be 100% caught up on everything that is going on with Digimon. Because, like I said, even I have forgotten certain things in relation to the show. But I've always loved it. I've always loved the show, the original show, and again, like I said, I'm getting back into Digimon trying to figure out what's going on with that story. Lots and lots of back and forth dialogue that really doesn't make a lot of sense. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it so far. And the speed attach E, okay. That's not bad. I get the feeling we may have missed Ogrmon's item, because I feel like I would have found it by now. But I'm going to give it up until the last room in the back. And if I still can't find it there, then I know I missed it. And we're going to have to track back. You don't have to hit Armadillomon like that. And another quick swipe. Alright. Okay, I'm glad it happened that way, because Armadillomon's victory dance is the cutest thing ever. I love Armadillomon. He was my favorite Digimon in Generation 2. I'm kind of upset going through the... Like I said, I went through the Digivolution lines to see who gets what and where and when. I'm kind of upset that... Wait a minute. Where am I supposed to go from here? Oh. I'm sorry. I missed the stairs on this side. But I was kind of upset that I saw that there was a Digivolution armor, but only for, like, Flamedramon and Magnamon and stuff like that, and not Digimon. I loved Digimon. I'm sorry. Digimon was lame for a lot of people, but I loved Digimon. I thought he was awesome. I thought he was funny. I thought it was a great Digimon. And it reminded me a little bit of Ikakumon with the whole... Because if I remember correctly in the show, Digimon used to shoot his... he used to shoot his drills out at enemies like missiles or something. And... You know, that always was cool to me, because I loved Ikakumon being able to shoot his horn out at an enemy, and it was a missile inside of it. Like, I thought, whoa, that's super intricate. Like, how does that happen? But no, I loved Digimon. I loved Ikakumon. I loved any time where, like, you shoot a projectile out from a specific part of your body as a character trait, because it's like, wow, you have no real, like, weakness because you can attack from any direction at any time. And let's see. Ooh, nice hit. Way to go, Betamon. You're gonna be ready to level up too here soon, aren't you? Yep. Armadillomon, I feel like his cap was at 27 or something. I'm gonna have to do some looking at that. And I still need to digivolve one of these guys, but now that we've reached a point where now I can scan them enough to, like, have one come out. Nice. And then Tentamon can just finish the fight with this one. Vaccine versus virus, baby. And he's a lightning type against a water type. Nice. Yep, there's the scan. But, of course, being the perfectionist that I am, I want to wait till he's about 200%, rather. I bet you I missed it. I bet you any amount of money that I missed where his special thing was kept. Because it's... Oh, no, it's right here. Wow. There we go. Now we just got to go all the way back to the beginning of the dungeon, and then we can head on back. Because then we got to head back through the logout zone. Now it's just a matter of hoping that the encounter rates are as low as I remember being the last time we played. But overall, I've really... Yep, there we go. The dungeons... The game's a little difficult in regards to the grind. I'm used to RPGs at a certain point not being great for grinding, but this might be one where grinding, it's helpful, but it's also not, because there are attributes that you actually can't improve your Digimon on through just leveling up. And I've always never been a big fan of that, because I don't know if it does this for anybody else, but when something like that happens, I immediately go back to thinking about Final Fantasy VIII. And with Final Fantasy VIII, I didn't like that you couldn't just learn spells. You had to draw them out from enemies, and then, like, you kind of... It's almost like treating your magic system as an item box, and that's never a fun thing, because I should never have to manage my magic in regards to, like, physical things. I like to manage my magic based on, okay, similar to this game, where we were using skills against Groundmon in one of the previous parts, where I had to manage special points, or I forget what, skill points. I had to manage those as I was fighting because I was in a very serious type disadvantage, because I did not have a lot of vaccine types, but I had data types, and I feel like I went into that fight actually extremely under-leveled. Just one foe. Okay. So, eventually, I'll be able to go ahead and get a couple of these things to have multiple hits. But I imagine that if you have to hit multiple enemies, that it'll probably take away from the accuracy of it. Because I've seen that that's like 95% accurate for certain certain skills. But no, when we were doing that fight against Groundmon, I wanted to be able to go ahead and just... What kind of music did you listen to? Would you bring a sample next time? Sure. I'd love to sing together with you sometime. But no, doing that battle was fun because I wasn't thinking I only have 13 more Ultima spells to use. I was thinking, okay, I have 12... I've used 12 skill points right now. I have 20 more left to go. That means I have this many amounts of skill points, but I can also use it to use a cure or whatever the case may be. Alright. Done with that one. And Final Fantasy VIII it's a decent game. I'm not going to go ahead and tell you that it's a terrible game. If you're a fan of JRPGs, if you're a fan of RPGs in general, I would suggest that you at least give it a try, because it's a game that deserves it. But at the same time, don't be surprised if you get frustrated early on in the game. Don't be surprised, because it's a difficult system to get used to versus what was going on with the materia system in 7, and it's certainly a step down from what I think was the better system of the 3 PS1 generations. Again, just talking about the special item that this one lost.
Digimon,